Hi, Donald M here with Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing School and Crescent Kayaks. And I've kind of come up with a simple way on all of these Crescent boats with one minor exception, and I'll get to that in just a few moments, to install an anchor trolley without having to drill any holes whatsoever. And that takes a few different pieces of hardware. Some are generic, some are specific to a company called YakAttack. I'm going to go through the hardware first, and then I'll go through the boat and show you where it's installed. So first of all, we have the generic hardware, and the things I use to install these are eye bolts. And these are just generic eye bolts that you can find hardware stores. I actually got these off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. But it's a 1/4-20 eye bolt. It comes with a nut on there. And we're just going to screw those into 1/4-20 tracks, which look just like these right here. And I'll pull those out and give you a close-up of those in just a few moments. So it's 1/4-20 eye bolts and 1/4-20 T-nuts or track nuts. And they're also, they come by a few names, but I will put all of this information in the link below in the description of this video. Basically what we have here is an anchor trolley set up using these eye bolts and using some T-track nuts and an anchor cleat. And we actually have a couple different styles of anchor cleats. I'm happy to use a YakAttack just because I had one on hand, but you can use any track mounted anchor cleat that you like. So I'm going to grab the camera, I'm going to come a little bit closer, and we're going to kind of go through everything. But basically, I'm going to come on this side of the boat and show you that it does work. Just like an anchor trolley, we can move this all the way to the front of the boat and all the way to the back of the boat from our seat. And then when we get to where we want to, we can simply take our anchor line and wrap it around the anchor cleat here. So I will try to get some close-up video. Start right here at the seat. And at the seat, you can see we have an anchor cleat. This is actually a GT anchor cleat from YakAttack. You can use any type of anchor cleat as long as it track mounts. What I did with these eye bolts, and there is a 1/4-20 eye bolt. It has a nut, and underneath you can see the little track nut or T-nut. It's a 1/4-20 as well. So I just installed those on the rails of the crew from Crescent Kayaks right now. So I installed one right here next to the seat. I'm going to go up to the next set of rails, and I installed an eye bolt. These are pretty high up, so if you have something else sitting here, you can usually clear it really well. And then on this next front one, I put another eye bolt here. And on the very front, to help us with a trolley, to take place of the pulleys that usually take place, I just put a Carabiner up here. It's a 150-pound test, so it's more than strong enough to withstand the weight of your kayak and or your anchor. So we just put a Carabiner at the front. I'm going to go back to the back, and we put a Carabiner at the rear as well. So it's right on the handle here. So there is nothing drilled right now. It's just a Carabiner on the rear handle. You've got an eye bolt here to guide it. You got an eye bolt here to guide it, and an eye bolt here to guide it. And then we still have that Carabiner on the front. Now, where you install your anchor or your anchor line, we have another Carabiner. And this looks like a whole lot of stuff right here. It is. It's a lot of wrapped cord around here. And the reason for that is because you can take this off of this boat and use it on any other length of boat. So by easily clicking this and wrapping your cord around the Carabiner, you can lengthen and shorten this to whatever length you need, no matter the length of your kayak. So if you have multiple kayaks, like me, I have a ultralight, light tackle, and Crescent, and a crew, all from Crescent. This setup will work the same without having to change anything except wrapping some cord around here for the ultralight, the light tackle, or this crew, as you can see. Same hardware used on all three boats. There is a caveat, and that is it is more difficult to use on the Sup Plus, just because the Sup Plus does not have a firm handle on the front nor the rear. So you're going to have to figure out something else on the front, and I will try to get a video for that later on. However, the track does come pretty far forward on the Sup Plus, so you may not have to go all the way to the front, and you can get by with simply putting an eyelet here on the Sup Plus and then putting your carabiner through your eyelet, and you're done. So that is it. It doesn't take a whole lot to do this. On the Crew, it takes 3 carabiners. You've got 1 on each end and then 1 in the middle to run your anchor itself through. And then you have 1, 2, 3 eyelets or eye bolts. And that is how you run the anchor. And I will go back through this and I'll bring some products up here. So what I used was YakAttack GT Cleat, and this is a GT Cleat XL. It's just a little bit larger, so you can use either one. I just happen to have this one in the package, but the one here, as you can see, is a little bit larger. The XL is just a little bit larger than the regular GT Cleat. The products I used was the YakAttack track nut kit on this side, just because I had those on hand. These are the eyelets that I used. They're from Midwest Fastener. There is the part number 51701. And like I said, they are just eye bolts, 1/4 20 with a nut on top. And if you like the YakAttack stuff that comes with a little more stuff, we're gonna go to the other side of the boat and show you what these tie down eyelets look like. So on the other side of the boat, we have the tie down eyelets. So rather than the 1/4 20 kind of sitting up here kind of like that, these YakAttack products give it a nice little finished look. So if you like that, YakAttack has those. They're fairly inexpensive, so go check those out. So that is it. That is the no holes Anchor Trolley install. Really easy to do. The biggest thing you do is, if you mess up, you can just unclip your carabiner here, and you can lengthen or shorten that line. You want to run your lines through the eyelets, and that is it. So we're going to give you a front to rear view. Front carabiner to the forward eyelet, to the midpoint eyelet, your anchor cleat, your rear eyelet, and finally the far back carabiner. Then you come back up and you have your carabiner that we use for your anchor. That is the install of the Anchor Trolley without having to drill a hole on, specifically right now, the Crescent Kayaks Crew, but it's easily transferred to the Crescent Kayaks Light Tackle, the Crescent Kayaks Ultralight, and with a slight modification, you can do it to the Sup Plus. This also goes for future boats that are coming out this spring that I am aware of. So keep this in mind, that you don't always have to drill a hole in your brand new boat to get the Anchor Trolley effects. And you can also stop this Anchor Trolley wherever you want. So if you want to put your carabiner on your front eyelet, rather than going all the way to the front handle, that's an option as well. Remember, if you want to check out YakAttack, YakAttack's website will be below, so give them a holler. You can get 550 cord pretty much anywhere on Amazon. YakAttack does sell just the 550 cord that is reflective, so if you'd like that, YakAttack has that available as well. So I appreciate watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Again, Donald M., Floating Feathers Kayak Fly Fishing School, and Crescent Kayaks. Thank you.